Morning guys, and welcome to another day. We are currently on top of the hotel and we are surrounded by what has to be the most stunning landscape I have ever seen. Unbelievable. Right in the middle of Hindu Kush in the centre of Afghanistan. But let me show you why we're actually in Bamiyan. But yes, we have the Hindu Kush, we have the snow-capped mountains where you can go and ski. No ski lift. We have the Taliban flag. Loving life. But now we're going to go up close, check it out, and climb the smaller one at 38 meters. And yes, let's see what we can find. And yes, this is another one for me. Anything construction. And Afghanistan living in the 21st century, solar panels, the lot, but just surrounded by snow-capped mountains. This is getting a bit excited actually. We're ready to go to the Buddhas?
Yes.
Isn't he so excited? He does this all the time, you see. Looks good?
Congratulations, your new dress.
There we go. I now look like an Afghan, eh? 100% Afghan. There we go. We'll see how this goes and maybe later I'll put trousers on, but I'll get the scarf and the hat and the waistcoat because I need a little bit more heat. But yeah, no more trouble from the Talibs, eh? They're not going to expect a thing, I'm going to be a local. Right?
We're going to finish
the rest. Oh, there we go. Hey, I've got a big head. Did he just say I've got a big head? Okay, here we go.
David from Panjshir.
Accepted into the society of Afghanistan.
Yeah. Only you live the pen.
Yes, I know, but because these get dirty, I want to look after them, so I'll wear them at home, eh?
Okay,
so
good.
there we go, well done. Thank you. So here we are. Welcome to the Buddhas of Bamiyan. Built around 1400 years ago as part of the Buddhist movement from India, 3,000 miles away, to the centre of Afghanistan in Bamiyan. What an incredible place. These Buddhas, huge structures, 55 metres, the one behind me, 38 metres, Shamama. Incredible colour, incredible detail that would have been seen across the valley floor. Just seen as iconic symbols for the local Buddhists around in the area. But unfortunately in 2001, these two icons would have been seen as un-Islamic by the then leader and founder of the Taliban, Mullah Omar, and he ordered the complete destruction of these two Buddhas. And just 6 months later, the war and terror began with the attacks of 9/11. So guys, welcome to Buddha number 2. This is actually the first one you come across, but this is the largest of the Buddhas at 55 metres, Salsol. This is incredible. This is right up my street. So here you see, they're trying to protect it with scaffolding. The scaffolding here, some of the bars come out and actually go into the face of the cliff just to give it some extra protection. How much that is doing, I don't know. But yes, all this would have been done during the occupation, during the US war. Yeah, there hasn't been much done since. What they're doing here as well, the buildings behind me, they are using these to protect some of the larger rocks and boulders that fell after the destruction of the Taliban, or destruction caused by the Taliban in 2001. Let's have a look. There's no evidence on any of these boulders, whether it's a face or whether it's a hand. It's unfortunate, there's just no meaning. So for the bigger ones, obviously they would have inserted these steel rods to be able to lift them. At least they can preserve some part of the Buddhas. What a shame. It's so incredible to see this and what it would have been like. I can't imagine what it would have been like if I was here 25 years ago. So another building here, another one here. So we got larger rocks here as well, which can't be moved, so they've put some sort of covering over the top of them to protect them. Hopefully you can appreciate 55 metres. It actually doesn't sound a lot nowadays, but impossible to build today, probably several billion. Certainly Afghanistan, it's pretty much impossible. What a place to put the Buddhas. Whenever you're here, you'll be able to appreciate why they chose this specific location. Also because it was the most easterly part of the Buddhist movement. This was 3,000 miles from India. And here are some of the homes as well would have been built around the same time. Local residents would have stayed here. And then for a time, Genghis Khan, as part of his fuckfest to come round the world domination, killed everyone, moved everyone out of the town. These lay vacant for a number of centuries, and then people moved back in. But unfortunately, when the Taliban came back to power, they then fled. While I'm here, let's have a look at one of the caves. Obviously very little, just one room in each of them, probably, I'm guessing maybe 100 built into the cliff, but what a view. So I'm guessing these holes, they're not bullet holes, are they? No, on the left and right, are they part of the design?
Yeah, it's a part of design, yes.
Okay.
But the big parts, as you see, it is not the part of the design. The people just try to make a hole and see what's in for looking at treasure. Or something.
Okay.
Find something and seal it.
And then when you say they were trying to rebuild it here, this was during the occupation over the last 20 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you couldn't build this now. There's no way.
Yeah, no.
You know, you need like 5,000 slaves.
Yeah. And also in here, in these caves, during the local war, they were the military bases. So Mujahideen lived in these caves.
Okay, so this was during the 90s, during the Soviet war?
Yeah.
So the Mujahideen, okay. So they had control of it. I think now I'll be able to appreciate the photo, you know, from your friend who thought the Buddhas were still here. I'll be able to appreciate the photo so much more. What are inside these rooms now?
Some of the caves, the wall surface are whale, so they just put a door and lock it because to protect it, someone shouldn't scratch it or someone shouldn't destroy it.
But let's be honest.
It has another.
Oh, it's got two. Oh, so padlock. One padlock is not enough, but when you got two, that's perfect. Why did they not put one padlock on the Buddha? But yeah, I would say I think one kick would open that. Oh, there's bits in there. So this was, when was this door put in? During the occupation, the coalition?
It was put in like 10 years ago.
Yeah, because I see this was after it was.
Yeah, during President Karzai's time.
Let me see if I can. I'm not gonna. Yeah, you can still see a few bits and pieces there. Like, I'm mesmerised at how impressive it looks now. I would wonder what it would look like if the Buddhas were still here.
It was very nice.
Oh, of course, because you've seen it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I was a kid and I usually came here for playing.
Yes. I'm sure it was a shock as well to a lot of the residents and lots of the people who lived. Look at that view.
Yeah.
Also destroyed. Well, there's quite a lot of detail here as well still, eh? Ah, here we go.
This is the head of the Buddha and that's another picture and the head, the face.
So they've done their best, yeah, they've taken what they can. They've certainly defaced the heads on all of them. So for those that the Taliban didn't destroy, looters have been in to destroy the rest. So anything, really, that their sort of program of destruction was led by anything that they sought to see that was un-Islamic, like icons that had to go. They had to go. So it was an easy decision for the Taliban to destroy. So this whole room would have been, you know, brightly lit, coloured, well designed.
It was very colourful.
Yeah.
And really nice.
And now it's
So beautiful.
yeah, it's a shame because as it's similar to the outside, which is impressive, standing where the Buddha would have been, and you can still appreciate how good it is. Here, it's still an impressive room, but again, it isn't half of what it used to be.
Yeah.
See, everywhere you go, you've got just these amazing views. It's hard to know what to look at sometimes. Okay, so level 2.
Yeah. And this is the temple which has still has some decoration.
The detail. There we go. So, this was all done by hand.
Yeah.
All done by hand. I'm guessing the tools would have been maybe like a hammer and a chisel.
Yeah, like an X.
Do you think 20 years, well, it's been 22 years since the Taliban blew both of the Buddhas up? Is there any regret? Do they look back and say, it wasn't a good move, it maybe wasn't a good thing we done?
Some of them
Maybe.
say,
Right, okay.
but most of them still think it is the, I think, opposite of Islam, and
Yeah, yeah.
it should be destroyed.
Yeah, okay. So there is progression there. And that's unfair for me to say progression in the right way or wrong way. It's just there's progression to accept other cultures.
Yeah.
You must have been here, I was going to say 100 times, 1,000 times.
Bamiyan is a very famous province.
Yeah.
Because it is safe, it is beautiful, and the people are nice.
So this is like a separate, they call it a separate province obviously, but it's nearly like a separate country run by a separate section of the Taliban.
Yeah.
And they have their own way of operating,
Yeah.
and obviously their own people who are in charge.
Another thing about Bamiyan people, or Bamiyanese, is people in Bamiyan, they are really nice. They don't create problem to the Taliban or to the visitors or to each other.
Yeah.
Although all the people in all provinces are nice, but I like these several provinces people, you know.
Yep. So, third level.
Another door.
So this is, same sort of story. A little bit more colour in there.
Yeah.
We now must be about, what are we, 30 metres high?
Yeah.
We're near the top, eh? Still here, a little bit of detail. Different colours as you move up through the different levels.
Yeah.
So here you have, I suppose it's like a peach colour, peach and white. So there's probably the most, that's, as you said, the higher you get, the more detail seems to be left.
Yeah.
And these were original holes for anything?
Yeah,
For a fire or for?
fire or
For fire?
some storage.
keeping something like a fridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Fifth
one-
century fridge. Let's have a look at the money shot.
Now we are on the top.
Here we go. So this will give you an idea of the Buddha's head would just be below us, a couple of metres below us. And that would be the view from the Buddha overlooking the valley and the locals. 1600 years ago. 1600 years ago. I don't think you can truly understand and put that in perspective, the fact that this was, well, it could well be longer than 1600 years. People in the West can't get an idea of how iconic these structures were. So it's said that it was tantamount, the destruction of these Buddhas was tantamount to what would now be, I'm trying to think of the equivalent, blowing up the pyramids of Egypt. That would be the equivalent now. You know, people don't realise the pyramids are the last remaining, original wonder of the world.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what.
It's the eighth wonder of the world.
Yeah, exactly what it would have been like. Fascinating. A bit of a disappointing end, though.
Yeah.
25 years too late, eh? I should have been here 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, someone else can lead the way. So they have temples both sides then of the Buddha.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're now on what will be the left-hand side of the Buddha.
And this door is new.
This door is also new, and a padlock, so
2 months new.
it's safe. Whatever's inside here is safe. Nobody's going to get in, eh?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to get in. What a shame. You can really see why, why they built it here. Of all the places in the world, because Buddhism stretched, I think it was like 3,000 miles from here to India, was its furthest point.
Yeah.
But you can understand why they chose this spot for these Buddhas.
Yeah. When you're here, you feel like a different. You have a different feeling.
I would love to
right?
explain to you how I feel right now, but it's impossible.
Yeah.
Oh, another temple, yes. This one's open. Yeah. This one's black, the colour.
Yeah,
Not because of a fire, eh?
Fire, yeah.
Oh, they've made it fire. Oh, very nice. Lovely.
It's not made it.
Oh, yeah, you can see actually, yes, it has been. Is this anything to do with, because I noticed the Islamic scrolls, is this anything to do with the Taliban, scriptures of the Taliban? These words?
The visitors wrote their name and said, like, it is a remember from David, for example.
Ah, okay. I mean, like this, the black.
Yeah. It's all
Oh, so this is a local-
first text from the local people.
Ah, so so this is literally somebody similar to somebody writing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But that's the problem. All it takes is one person to write their name, and the next person comes in, sees a name,
Yeah.
then they write it, and that's how it starts.
Yeah.
So here, it's nearly emotional.
Yeah.
I can't, for the life of me think how you feel, but knowing the story behind that now, it's nearly, it's quite difficult,